Okay, welcome everyone to the second edition of the Half and Half Wider Circle Interview Podcast. My name is Brian Christina. I am the Director of Marketing here at Wider Circle. Very, very happy to have our second guest, Lisa Pickett, joining us. Lisa, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time to go through this Wider Circle interview and participate. It's great to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So, for those who don't know you, Lisa, why don't you please start off by sharing a little bit about yourself? What do you do here at Wider Circle?
I work with the learning and development team, so part of HR, and I am the lead trainer that assists with the community engagement. So playing a huge role in this expansion that we're doing and onboarding all of our new hires.
Excellent. Awesome. And you've been here how long?
This is almost August now. So I started in January. So
Okay.
going into, I guess you would say 7 months total.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it goes so quickly. We move so fast. Everybody knows that. So it's been, yeah, a great
I
time.
know.
But
It's
yeah.
so true. Three months from today will actually be my 1 year anniversary. So yeah, it has. You're right. It goes by very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So before we did this, you and I kind of did like a little pre-interview and we had a chance to kind of get to know each other a little bit. So sort of the first thing that sort of stood out to me when we talked a couple of weeks ago was your love of music. And I'm a big music fan too. Most of the people who already work here know that I'm like a big 70s music nut, which is kind of strange because I was born in the late 70s and I grew up more in the 80s and 90s, but like I still love 70s music. But tell me, like, what kind of music do you like? And tell us about maybe any exciting concerts or shows that you've been to or plan on attending this year.
Yeah. Yeah, music has always been an activity, an event, for me and my lifestyle. Um, with my daughters, it's been concerts. So
Mhm.
huge concerts that we've gone to. It's kind of been like our mommy daughter bonding time. So that's been the Coachella, which has been amazing. We went 3 years in a row. So 3-day festival, outdoor, 6, 7 stages, all of that. So it's kind of changed for me. So right now, recently in the past years, I do that with the kids, which is pop, R&B, new, a lot of music I don't know, but I just enjoy being in the atmosphere. But for me, it's shifted more into jazz. So
Nice.
artists like Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper, that is what I've been enjoying the most. And actually, Blue Note has a really fantastic Napa Jazz Festival that's coming up. Actually, I don't know when this is going to air, but this weekend that we'll be going to participate. So jazz is, where my heart is right now. And best concert ever, as you asked, it actually was Lionel Richie. And it was probably, I don't even know how many years ago. But the best part about that is I actually went by myself. I didn't follow along, didn't realize that he was going to be in town, looked last minute, saw that he was playing out in Orange County, which is maybe about an hour from where I live in LA. Had great second row center, one seat available. It had my name on it, and I went by
Oh,
myself, and it was the most amazing experience that I've had at a concert. So I guess that would
that
be
is
my
so
most
cool.
memorable.
Was it him or was it Commodores? I don't even know if the Commodores still even are they even still together in any capacity? No.
No, he did sing a lot of the Commodore songs, so my Zoom and all of that. So I was
Oh
jamming,
God,
yeah,
that
yeah,
would have been
but they
so
weren't there
cool.
with him. Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was also kind of really fascinated by one of the other hobbies that you told me about, which was driving. And when we were talking about that, like you were telling me, like you didn't care what it was, train, bus, anything. You like to drive. So tell us a little bit about like maybe some of the vehicles that you like to get behind the wheel of, and sort of what sparked that passion.
I come from a household of ladies that were always like, you can do anything, you can do anything. So for me, growing up in my community, a lot of the guys would ride dirt bikes and, um, you know, four-wheelers and all of that. And I was like, hey, my mom was never the type like, no, girls shouldn't do that. You might get hurt. Don't, so that's kind of where it started,
Mm.
wanting to kind of feel this adventurous spirit that I have. So it started from childhood, riding the dirt bikes, going up on the quads. And then my stepdad actually worked for the Long Island Railroad. And my sister ended up joining the railroad as a conductor and then transferred into locomotive engineer. So when I came after high school, was looking for a job to see what I could do, I actually followed in her same footsteps. So from riding the motorcycles, riding the dirt bikes, doing the quads, to actually driving a train as a licensed FRA locomotive engineer. I've done side jobs when I was in college, as far as working with UPS, driving the trucks, so I can drive big trucks. Yeah, yeah, it's just fun. I think part of it is I like to be in control and I kind of like speed. So my first car was a stick shift. That was kind of, my mom was, at that time, the standards were less expensive. And my mom was like, well, if you want a car, this is what it is. You have to learn how to drive a stick. And that was part of it. So it's a lot of little touch points. It wasn't kind of a straight path,
Yeah,
but it's just that constant, yeah. Oh, let me see. That's different. Let me try it. Why not?
that's funny. My wife tried to teach me stick once. We were in like I'll never forget it. We were in like a parking lot of a grocery store. And I didn't, there wasn't any particular reason I needed to learn how. It was just something I was like, okay, I can't drive stick. I want to. And within about 10 minutes, she's like, okay, we're done. You're going to destroy my transmission. She's like, so like, let's just move on from this. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's probably for the best. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
the
it didn't
whiplash.
stick.
Yeah, it's balance. It's getting that
Yeah.
rhythm. Same with motorcycles, the hand-foot
Yeah.
coordination and that
Right.
rhythm. And yeah.
Right. And I'm barely coordinated enough to use my right foot. So imagine having to use both. I was like, nah, this is not gonna, this isn't gonna fit for me. So yeah, it was a short-lived attempt at trying to learn that. So one of the, I think one of the really cool things that you told me about was you like to be part of companies and organizations that like to give back. And there was you talked to me about a boot camp for moms that you were part of. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and kind of what that meant to you?
Yeah, yeah. So it was actually another company that I was working for, that I was doing trainings for tech sales. So getting people back, trying to find a career. Tech sales, entry level positions in sales are in high demand. Usually, they don't need as much, like you can get it without a college degree and things like that. So this company I was working for hired me to create a curriculum and to train on that. But one of the clients, it was a few clients they had, but the one that you're mentioning, one of the clients they had was called Mom Relaunch.
Hmm.
And what their focus was mothers that were stay-at-home moms for a significant amount of years, or at the time that most people are, continuing to move up in their career, they stayed home with their kids, but now the kids are in school and it's time for them to get back into the workforce and earn some income and do that. So this program was one of those that we provided training for them and job placement so that they could work after. And that really hit home for me because I myself was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years with my kids. But luckily, the career that I had, I was still able to do some training and keep up with it and able to start working, again. But it was still kind of that relaunch, like you have to get acclimated and really get back into the workforce. So that was really meaningful to work with those moms.
Yeah, that sounds very, very rewarding, which actually kind of segues nicely into the next question, kind of shifting gears back to work here at Wider Circle. What's kind of your favorite or maybe the most rewarding part of what you do here at Wider Circle?
It's the onboarding. It's being kind of that first phase of introducing new people, new employees, our CEs and our OSs, into Wider Circle. So really setting them up for success, knowing that they're all coming in from different levels, different experiences, but being able to support them to get in line with our mission. And, like I said, setting them up for success is really what's important to me.
That's awesome. Um, so, and as you may know, Wider Circle has a mentor program here, right? Mentors, mentees. It started, kicked off earlier this year. So, kind of in the spirit of that program, I have sort of a two-part question here for you. What is the best career advice you've ever received? And then what on the flip side would be the best career advice you could ever offer someone?
It might be, there's two things that come to mind, and they might be the same that I received and that now I offer, because that
Okay.
is usually how it happens. You hear something good and you're like, oh, okay, this is working. Let me share that.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
It was whenever you have a problem or an issue or a concern and you're bringing it to manager or to another teammate, always have a solution. Like it's not enough just to raise a problem, have a solution in mind that you could present. They might not agree with it, they might shut it down, but at least you're having some place to start. And that could be as small as, okay, I need some time off. But this is what I think we could do to cover the workload that I need, to something as big as, okay, we're having a huge problem here with hiring. These are some things I think that you could do. So that is a response to both advice that I received that was, you know, extremely beneficial and I've used ever since. And then also I would recommend to share with others as career advice. Don't
I'm
just raise them,
nodding.
you have a solution.
Yeah, I am nodding and smiling so much because I will never forget that that was one of the very first pieces of advice that my mentor gave me. I'll never forget. She was great and I loved her very much. And she was definitely like a very kind of a stern boss. She would be very direct with me in certain ways. And I remember going into her office one. This was very early in my career at this job. This was like many years ago. And I don't remember how we specifically got to that subject, but she was like, "You are more than welcome to come into my office. You have a problem anytime. I want you to feel free. This is an open door. Come in anytime you need. However, if you're going to come in here with a problem, I expect you to have a proposed solution as well." She's like, "I don't want you to come in here, tell me you have a problem, and then look for me to solve it. I want you to have an idea in mind. And I don't care if it's the right idea or the wrong idea, but I need you to have something." I'm like, great. Okay. That makes sense. So to hear
Yes.
that, that's funny. That hits home because that was one of the very earliest pieces of advice I ever got from my mentor. And that one stuck with me too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yep.
great. That's great. Um, so you mentioned that you were also part of Wider Circle's diversity resource group, the DRG.
Mhm.
Talk about your involvement in that group and how you think it's made a difference for our employees here.
Yeah, so it's still new. We're still kind of in the early stages of it. Just began now probably about 2 months ago. Was really excited to be accepted and to be a part of that. Um, we're still building, but some of the things that we've done in this short period of time, if you notice, there were some statements and a few things that changed on Work Vivo and posts on our social media platforms for Pride Month. Some of us, you saw we had different signatures that we worked with and able to support that. Also Juneteenth, that wasn't something that was really recognized previously, but there were, again, statements and information. We're also working on possibly getting Juneteenth off as a holiday for next year. But as we began to talk about the holidays, this was kind of the initiation to have, everybody having off for 4th of July this week. So that's movement. Some of the things that we're working on now immediately is really having a DEI policy. So that's clearly formed. Individuals know where they can go to get support, really educating also on what is diversity, what is inclusion, what if there's some type of violation, what do I do, what steps can I take, how do I get coaching, how do we support? So that's really what I'm excited about. Yep. In
Awesome.
addition to, of course, the giving other people voices. When we're talking about diversity, it's not just, ethnicity or color. We're thinking about individuals that have disabilities, maybe seen or unseen. Are we addressing those in our workspace for them? So again, a lot of things in the work, but just excited to be part of those conversations and those initiatives and being able to help for every department that we're working in.
That is fantastic. It sounds like the DRG is doing some amazing things. So great.
Mhm.
Bravo.
Mhm.
Okay, we are, believe it or not, we're at the last question, but this is always my favorite because this is the rapid fire questions. 10 rapid fire. One of them you actually did already answer, so we'll just kind of skip past it when we get to it. But here we go. You ready?
I think so.
All right. Favorite book.
Michelle Obama, The Light We Carry.
Okay. Which you mentioned that when we talked, so I'm not surprised to hear that. And I think I know the answer to this one. Your favorite movie? I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that whole series. You got it. Yes,
You
yes.
cannot go wrong. Okay. Favorite song.
It's actually a gospel song by William Murphy. It's called It's Working.
Okay.
It gets me like every time. Yeah,
All
that's my
right.
favorite. Mhm.
Awesome. Okay.
Old. I can't remember when, but it's old. But that's my favorite.
I'll check it. I'll have to go to iTunes later and just listen to the sample. Okay. What's it
Mhm.
called? What was it called again? It's
William
working?
Murphy. Yep, it's working.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Um, favorite food?
Stew fish, Caribbean style.
Okay. All right. Your top bucket list item?
A private yacht cruising around the French Riviera and the Greek islands.
Okay. So that kind of leads into the next question. Your favorite vacation destination? Are they sort of one and the same?
No, honestly, my mom lives in Florida. She retired there, and that's my favorite vacation, going to Florida to visit my mom.
Oh, awesome. Very nice. Where in
Mhm.
Florida?
St. Petersburg. She's
St.
in
Petersburg.
actually in
Oh, so she's
Baltimore.
up
Yeah,
north. Okay.
yep, near
Yep.
Tampa.
Yep.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah. My parents are down in Fort Myers, so kind of lower
Mm,
part West Coast.
yep.
Favorite sport or activity?
Not big on sports. I just do it to be social. I don't really get into it, but favorite activity is going to museums.
Oh, awesome.
Mhm.
Any have you been to any lately? Anything yeah? Like what?
Yeah, regularly. I out here I'm in Los Angeles, so the Getty Museum is one of my favorites.
Okay.
So the Getty has a Getty Villa and a Getty Museum, and they have different, of course, they rotate the exhibits, but beautiful grounds, just excellent exhibits. And then also LACMA. I'm a member of LACMA just because it's affordable. Getty is too expensive. I can't afford it. But LACMA I go to regularly too. Right now they're doing a summer series, so you get to go to the exhibits first, and then they have a nice little jazz festival on Friday evenings outside in their little common area. So
Excellent.
those are, yeah,
Very nice. Okay. Favorite season?
fall.
There,
I'm
right.
originally from New York. So we don't really get fall here in California, but fall is still my favorite.
Same here. I've always told people if there was a place on earth where it was basically like fall 55 to 60 degrees year round, that would
Mhm.
be like my nirvana. So,
Yep.
um, all right, I think we addressed this one. Favorite concert that you've ever attended? Was it Lionel Richie then?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So last but not least, and this is sort of what I refer to as the foxhole question. If you were in a tough situation and you could have only one person to help you in that time of need, who would it be that you would turn to?
My best friend from childhood, her name is Rakia Wilson. She actually lives in Virginia. That's who I would, yep, go
And
to without a doubt.
was there ever a situation where maybe she did have to step up and help you for anything, or yeah, many,
Too many
many.
to college, to marriage. Yeah, yeah, we've been there a lot. Illnesses, yeah, totally.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
Childbirth, yeah, tons of it.
It's great to have that individual, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, Lisa, you made it through. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and on behalf of everyone at Wider Circle, we really appreciate you being part of the podcast. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this was great.
All right, take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.